Sweet.
Alrighty, welcome everyone to the brand new Twitch channel here for USRC. I'm joined here by Sean Hughes. My name is JW Miller, and we're getting ready here to start the first race of the 2019 season at Daytona. We're going to be doing 100 laps here with stages at 20 and 40. Sean, how you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm excited to see what's going to unfold here tonight and this season. This hopefully will set us up for a really good year here.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. What do you expect here for the first race? Do you think who do you think's going to be working together here? We got a few people with teams. We're just going to have to end up running through some of the new guys because we have this brand new Xfinity series here this year that we're running on Saturday nights, and we've got about 13 minutes left here at practice before everyone goes into qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, we got quite a few new names here. Qualifying is going to be single car, so won't be too many games played around there. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, we got so many new guys. I don't know who's going to work with who. I think, once we get to 5 to go or so, everyone's just going to work with whoever is willing to work with them at that point. Can't be too picky then.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some action going on here around the track.
Yeah, we got a little pack here with the 51 to 37, a couple cars in front of them as well, so pretty tame on the track for the most part right now as these guys are getting prepped for qualifying.
Yeah, that's true. We only got about 12 more laps left. Or sorry, 12 more minutes left.
Yeah, it looks like right now we have Matt Burgess, who has the fastest lap there here in practice by 1/1000th. So that alone shows you just how close these lap times are going to be here once we get in this race.
Yeah, and if I could have you just check the stream for me, make sure everything's going alright over there.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're going to have to bear with us a little bit here these first few weeks.
Yeah, we're just getting used to doing the whole thing and kind of trial by fire here for this Xfinity series.
Yeah, we didn't get as much practice laps, so to speak, on this as much as we would have liked, but that's okay.
Yeah, we've already got 30 guys that have done a lap so far, and it looks like they're all getting ready here for a pit party.
Yeah, audio levels seem to be okay.
Awesome.
Visuals seem to be okay as well, so I have to see. Do you have it set to 60 frames a second or 30? Okay.
Yeah. I can't do 1080 at 60, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to deal with 30,
Okay.
but should look alright.
All right, no worries. We can work on that a little bit afterwards, but yeah. So thing looks good there. Good job, sir.
Awesome.
All right, so the pit party is rolling out here. This is going to be our first. This is going to be our first good indication of what the racing is really going to be like. I mean, these things draft nothing like the trucks or the Cup car as well. So this will be interesting here.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, one thing that you're going to hear a lot thrown around here tomorrow in the 500 in real life is side drafting, and iRacing side drafting is kind of hit or miss. It's pretty prevalent in the trucks, I would feel like, and in these cars it somewhat works, but in the Cup car it's pretty non-existent. You can elaborate a little bit on that, JW, but for me, I don't think we're going to see too much of it here tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're definitely gonna have to wait and see for that as they are getting lined up and ready to go. Let's get excited here. About 10 minutes left to practice, so they're gonna get some time here to run in a pack, and we're gonna see how these guys can do it.
Pretty tame restart there for this little practice pit party.
Oops, please bear with me here. Just, well, there we go. Sorry about that. Again, please bear with us as we're all trying to get used to all these camera controls and everything, but looks like they're hanging out too wide there. Everybody's kind of fanning out, trying to figure out here.
Yeah, 3 wide.
What we're gonna do.
Glenn Wilson there in the middle, 3 wide. The 000 there, inside of Glenn Wilson. This got pretty hectic here pretty quick. Sam Niederhelm up there would be the P4 spot if this was the actual race. 3 wide behind him. And here comes Sam Niederhelm. He's looking to go to the lead in the middle here. Getting a shove there from the 51 car. Wow, this is some good racing here, JW.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be running 3 wide to start out, but this is definitely looking better than the real-life Xfinity race so far.
Yeah. Oh, 11's in the wall.
Oh, boy. Oh, and they are wrecking.
Oh, here goes. Then Wilson got spun around there somehow. Has quite a bit of left rear damage there, but probably would have stayed green there.
Oh, and they're wrecking again. And
yeah, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
wow?
Jonathan Thomas
That
flipping
is
right now?
Katie Height pulling
okay.
a what would you say that would be?
I call that a Ryan Newman.
Yeah, that was
man.
pretty nuts. Let's get an instant replay on that one.
Yikes.
That was Katie Height there. Looks like she's running right there in the middle. They just end up getting into each other. Looked like somebody was trying to block there right in front of the pack, and
oh man,
wow, that definitely looks like a crash you would have seen in NASCAR 2003.
Wow, I have never
that
seen
was
a car barrel
that was
like
pretty
that
nuts.
Yeah, that is wow. And one last little hit there at the end just to put the cherry on top. Wow.
Yeah, that was definitely crazy.
Still got a little tiny pack here and single file now with the 51 leading out. And he's got pretty racy there, pretty quick though, so that's a good sign here tonight. Sure, Katie Height's gonna have to get into a helmet now because I'm sure there's vomit in there now. So.
Yeah, unfortunately I have my ATVO sorted by the position, but it's the laps, not their position right now, so it's kind of hard to do it. Once that we get into the actual race, it'll be a lot easier for me to keep track of the pack and everything, but
yeah, that's no worries, just 5 minutes left.
oh boy, and they're practicing some pitting here. That's definitely going to be an interesting situation, having them come into the pits. Oh, yep, we have some contact there. So they're definitely going to want to practice pitting.
Oh, yeah. That's something I expect to see tonight for sure. But yeah, so our stages tonight are lap 20 and lap 40. So if we stay green in that final stage, they should have to pit. We're suspecting that they're going to be able to go about 40 laps or so, give or take, depending if you're a lead car in the draft or not. So if we stay green in that final stage, they should have to come in, and that's going to be really interesting to see the strategy play out here.
Do we have another pit party going here, or?
We do have one forming up on pit road right now.
Alrighty. Yeah, I do see
Thomas
that.
Harmon might be leading them out, I think. Mistaken.
Awesome.
Someone else has a car looks just like his. Yeah, just under 5 minutes now before we head into single car 2-lap qualifying. Really good turnout here tonight as expected.
Yeah, how many people have so far done a lap? Looks like 30. So that's pretty good. 31 in the session.
Absolutely, yeah. So hopefully can have at least roughly that to finish here in the lead lap and have a good finish.
So who we got leading this? Looks like the number 70. Oh wait, nope.
And the 91 comes Lindau, so appears to be leading this group around.
Oh
That's
yep,
the
they're
80
coming
car and
around turn
Jonathan
4
Thomas
right
behind.
now.
Pretty discombobulated restart there, but the 91's going to lead this pack out. 80 car is going to fall in line here. Pretty much 2 by 2 all the way back behind him.
Whoops, it looks like we lost James Lindau and Kyle Snodgrass there for a second. Not sure if they're both blinking at the same time or what's going on there. Maybe I'm having some issues, but
Yeah, it seems to be okay on my end, so hopefully we're going to be okay on your end. It looks like Sam Niederhelm just nicked the wall there, looking to take it 3 wide.
when they're wrecking in the
Looks like he
back
bounced
there.
back in the line there. Yes, they are. Got the 10 car, I think I saw. Heavy contact there at the outside wall. Oh, and the 70. 70's got...
Oh, they're
good save
4
by the
wide
70
here.
there.
Yep. Uh-oh. That looks like that was
another
that
huge crash.
11 of
Wow,
Matt
that
Burgess
51.
there upside down.
Out of 51, got all 4 of them wheels up off the ground. Wow, that was pretty airborne there for Brandon Goss. On his lid right now, and comes down on all 4s. Man, quite the wrecks here in these pit parties. Man, that 51 never had a chance.
Yeah, definitely. I think with these guys not having raced with each other yet, it's definitely going to take a couple super speedway races before we see them get super comfortable with each other.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this impacts the race, because this is not going to give these drivers a warm and fuzzy feeling about racing around some of these guys, because this is quite hectic here in these first few laps of these pit parties. So we'll see if they can kind of string along a better run here in the race. Under a minute here before qualifying.
Who do we got out there on the track right now? Are they still racing?
Looks like nobody. I'm going to run through some of these rules right quick.
Alrighty, sounds good. As it looks like they're jumping on over to lone qualifying right now. I'm not sure if we'll be able to follow anybody around for their qualifying, but we'll definitely get the standings set up here, so that then we can track who's who in the qualifying session. See who can get that Daytona 500, well not 500, but 250 pole.
300. yeah. Well, yeah, 250. But qualifying JW for me on these super speedways has always been a little bit of a challenge, just because it's really awkward. I mean, there's really only so much you can do. It's all about just turning left without turning the wheel too far left, because you're naturally going to slow down the further left you turn with that resistance between the tires and the asphalt there. So I know a lot of guys like to run right against that wall for that first lap, and then run right on the bottom on the second lap there. What is your strategy entering here into the qualifying and
Oh
solo?
yeah, I definitely do that, and I think mainly, what you're trying to do here with these super speedways is that you want to be the smoothest guy out there. So that really means spending both the least amount of time turning and not turning the wheel too much. I see a lot of guys, you know, it, I'm not the best at qualifying, especially in the Xfinity or the Cup car. I usually do okay with the trucks just because that outside lane inside lane works really well for me, but in the Xfinity and the Cup I have trouble qualifying on the super speedways. But you really got to be smooth, and you really got to be able to hook that bottom for that second lap, so that then you can really just get the most out of your car and uh, not be turning as much, because you want to travel the least bit, so that then you can be the fastest here when you got nobody in front of you or behind you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you run that high side that first lap just to build up as much momentum as possible. Because I mean, every single one of these drivers is obviously going flat out, but it's all about, like you said, being able to take the shortest distance around without turning so far left. Because, like I said earlier, the more you turn left, the more resistance you're going to be creating between your tires and the track there, and it's naturally going to slow you down, and you don't want that obviously here. So far, we can see some guys turning in some laps right now. Only 6 guys have turned in a lap so far. But right now, it's James Jacobs sitting there on P1 right now with a 50.45. I expect to see that knocked off here. That's definitely a lap he ran right around the bottom on his first time around. So
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see how he does here. As these next laps start to file in. Quick shout out to Mr. Joe Petrick there in the chat. Thanks for the kind words. Good luck to all you guys tonight as well.
Unfortunately, they're not showing us the speeds here on the results page. I'll have to.
Yeah, Mr. Jamie Walker sitting on the pole right now at a 49.84 with Josh Flyall. If we're butchering your name tonight, guys, you're just gonna have to tell us. We don't know about the
Looks
pronunciation
like
of some of these names.
Filia.
Flyall. Okay, well, he's sitting P2 right now. Pretty competitive lap time there. So you can see here, it's like a 49.8 is the time to hit here if you want to get inside that top 5 right now.
Alrighty. And then, yeah, looks like Tim Bills up there in third. Kyle Snodgrass just put in one that's, these guys are within a tenth of each other, at least for the top 5 right now. And as more
Yeah,
guys.
Snodgrass and Brown Jr., excuse me there, JW, lay down the same exact lap time. It's pretty interesting there.
Wow. Yeah, that's difficult to do, but looks like James Wilms
Yeah, it
and
looks
Thomas Haley
and
have the
Haley
same
did it.
as
Haley
well.
did it. Yeah. Wow. All right then. Well, wow. I don't think we'll ever see that again, JW. P5 and 6 have the same lap time, and P7 and 8 too. That's
Yeah,
wow.
and it looks like we've only got 11 qualified so far.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of guys want to adopt that strategy of starting in the back, but
Only so many
historically for me,
guys can
JW,
start in
that
the back, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
I mean, historically, and especially in real life, the statistics show you have to start inside that top 5 if you want to win this race. So we'll see how it works out here tonight, but I've tried to stay in the back strategy quite a bit myself, and generally, it just gives you more opportunities to get caught in that big wreck. So, you really want to be at the very, very back or right at the front. You never want to be in between. So we'll see how that works out for these guys.
Yeah, it
Qualifying
should
has
be
completed
interesting.
here.
As we have Jamie Walker on the pole for this race, followed by Josh Filia. As they're starting to gird up here. Going through the grid here, we've got Jamie Walker starting on the inside with Josh Filia on the outside. That's Jamie Walker's a veteran, so doesn't surprise me too much that he got the pull here. And Josh Filia is a new guy, so looks like we have some talented guys here for qualifying. We've got Tim Bills starting next to Brandon Jackson there in the second line. Kyle Snodgrass and Russell Brown Jr. starting there in row number 3. James Wilms in the number 12. He's one to definitely look out for. Love watching that number 12 on Xmazia on twitch.tv. Then we got Thomas Haley next to him, another brand new guy. Got a pair of classics in the USRC Cup Series, Sam J. Niederhelm and James Jacobs next to them. And we got Greg Edney starting there in row 6. As it looks like they have fired the engines and they are getting ready to go here. They're going to have one lap and we'll be getting going here soon. Sorry, what were you saying there, Sean?
Yeah, well, I was trying to lay down the rules here, but obviously we're new to this, so apparently I need to be in the race control channel, so we're going to have to keep these guys up to date.
Yep, we'll definitely get everything figured out here. I'm glad that you're here getting everything figured out for me while I'm broadcasting. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not letting me to it's not wanting me to change channels here for whatever reason, so we'll see if we get everything straight away here.
Alrighty, sounds good. As they're making their way into turn 3 here side by side, Jamie Walker getting ready to bring it on to the green.
Yes, sir.
Look at the weather here. We got a air temp of 74 and a wind speed of 11 miles an hour, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to handle the cars, but hopefully they can figure that out there. 11 isn't too bad, but mostly cloudy, so there should be some good grip out there as we're going green.
Yeah, the 99 blinks out there briefly, but the 70 got a really poor restart there on the outside line. So it looks like they're 2x2 pretty much all the way around this track right now, just about.
Yeah, it looks like the top 4 cars are starting to kind of break away from the rest of them. We got, let's see here. Josh Filia is going to end up leading this one as the 015. Jamie wants to go to the back.
Yeah, he wants nothing to do with that. Slots back in line there in front of the 72.
As the 99 of Brandon Jackson is making his way up to the front. Already up there on the top of the outside lane, outside of Josh Filia. And Kyle Snodgrass is going to give him a good push there on the outside lane.
Comes Sam Niederhelm on the bottom, trying to get up here behind James Wilm. Getting a shove there from James Jacobs in the 71 car.
So it looks like we've got about 14 guys out here in this lead pack, and then we got some other ones that are straggling behind a little bit, so should be interesting to see what's going on here, but we do have a stage at lap 20.
Yes, we do. Hopefully these guys know that. I mean, apparently I was getting talked all over. I guess a lot of guys had all teams muted, unfortunately. So I'm a rookie, guys. Give me a break here. I'll try to get that squared away here moving forward.
Going on lap 3, everybody's looking good. This front pack is looking nice and smooth. They're making it look good here so far. Knock on wood.
Yeah. If those pit parties are an indication of what this race is going to be like, we're going to be in for a long one. But so far, so good here. That 80 is really giving that 99
That
a good
99
shove
gets clear and he
wow.
drops down to the bottom.
Yeah, leaves his buddy out there, the 80 car out to hang. The 77's taking a peek outside now.
Yeah, that 77 is not happy that Brandon closed the door,
There
and
he
he's going to go
goes.
to the outside, try to get a side draft and make a run on him. Already they're racing.
Yep, and that 99 leads that lap. 99 blinks out there as well. This is, kind of worst case scenario. You really don't want to see the guy leading the race here blinking in and out at Daytona. But hopefully that connection will stand strong here. And man, that 77 is really crowding that 99 here for the top spot.
Yeah, Brandon Jackson is kind of one of those guys that he wants to be leading from lap 1, and he was able to do it there with Kyle Snodgrass on the outside. That was really great. Had Russell Brown Jr. out there too, so a lot of these newer guys trying to show that they can hang around that outside lane and push a guy to the lead.
Yeah, and you can see James Williams there in the third spot there in the bottom line. He's keeping a little bit of distance here, knowing these guys are getting really racy here. Can't blame him on that, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go ahead and do a crank it up cam here while they're side by side racing. Oh, as Brandon Jackson goes around in front of the field. We're going to need a yellow on that one, I think. Yep. As
Yep,
yellow comes out. And
man, I don't not entirely sure what happened there. It could have been a blink incident, and I'm not really sure. I'll have to take a look back at it here.
yeah, unfortunately, Brandon Jackson looked like he got some heavy damage there. We're trying to find out what happened there.
Yeah, I mean, on my screen, it looked like they head to the corner, and he blinks out and comes back in, and he's turned around.
Yeah, let's take a look here.
And he's on pit road now. Looks
Yep,
like the
he
77
blinks
is
out
clean.
and then just looks like he crashes in front of the field. That's too bad. Unfortunately, he has to deal with that college internet. So that's too bad for him. He likes racing out front early, but unfortunately with connection issues, that can be hard to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look if anybody else got any damage out of it. I mean, he was blinking so bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure if maybe the server just ghosted him because he was blinking, and I don't know, but hopefully nobody got damaged from that, and we can continue racing here.
Yeah, I mean, the 99 definitely has quite a bit of damage, but it looks like he is not even on track anymore. Obviously, I know he went down pit road. I think he might have towed. So
Yeah, it looked like he definitely hit the wall there pretty bad, so if that was what that was like on his screen, then he's going to have a tough time coming back in this one.
yeah, well, luckily it doesn't look like anybody else got any damage out of it. So it's I was a little bit surprised no one mentioned that he was blinking. I figured in Discord they were letting him know, but he came over chat and said that nobody told him, so he had no idea, I guess. But generally, when you're blinking like that, all the other cars disappear for you, so you had to think that he would have known. But not entirely sure what happened there. But Once again, luckily no one else got any damage
Yeah,
out
I've
of
never
it.
seen that out of Brandon, even though, you know, he blinks quite a bit. I've never seen him blink out and then blink back in and he's sideways on the track. Like, usually he'll blink out, blink back in, and he's fine. So, yeah, that looked like not a good situation there, but I didn't see anyone else blinking in there, so I think we
No,
should be good
I
from
didn't
now
either.
on. That's too bad for him, though. You know, he's definitely one of our regulars, and he shows up every week. So we appreciate you, man. We hope you can get some better internet soon.
All right, yeah, I'm getting asked here by Mr. Van Alstyne here to get moved to a different channel, but I don't see him in Discord, so I don't really know how I'm gonna help him out there if he's not even in the Discord to begin with. Maybe
Oh
I'm just
yeah,
overlooking him
he would
here,
need
but
to be in the driver
yeah, I
chat.
can't just assign him to a channel. So
Yeah, if you could let him know that he just needs to connect to the driver chat, and then
hey, ill will, buddy, you need to be connected to a channel there for me to move you. I need to switch. How do I? I'm a terrible rookie here at this. Let's see, I need to change this.
oh wait, here we go. Sorry about that. I just had to check my DMs. He wants to be in that Track One Motorsports team there. They have Armando Ortiz, Dame Newsom, and Jamal Pogue in there. So it looks like those were all the guys that Will invited to the league. So I'm gonna try and get him settled out in for that.
All right, well, it's going to be a little 10-lap dash here to the end of stage one. So right now your top five is a 37 car of Tim Bills, Josh Flyall. How are we going with that?
Phil, yeah, I think.
Y'all. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Phil y'all. Okay,
Definitely
whatever.
difficult
Sorry,
for
Matt.
us
Let
to
us know.
get
Gotta
used to
let us
guys'
know.
names here.
Yeah. All right, then a good old James Williams there sitting in P3, Kyle Snodgrass, and then Russell Brown Jr. rounding out your top five. Got a few new names in there, DW.
Yeah, and it looks like Carl Moore got a blue screen, so it looks like a few
Oh, no.
issues happening here for some of our veterans. Looks like some of the young guys will be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, still 29 cars here on the lead lap.
Alrighty, looks like we got everybody settled into their respective places on Discord, so we should be good on that and getting ready to go back green here.
Like we got somebody in chat pulling for the aid of Chris Haman. I'm gonna go with Haman. That sounds cooler. So yeah, he's sitting there in P. I think it looks like 14 right now. So certainly still within range to do something here and get some stage points for the end of this first stage.
Yeah, let's check out him right here. That's the number 8. Yeah, he's definitely been sitting back there for a while. It looks like we're getting ready to go back green as we go into turn 3.
And your control car is going to be on the inside line here. Going to be taking a peek at this 70 of Russell Brown Jr. He really struggled on the outside line in the initial start of the race. See how he does on this one.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
This car is pulling off here.
Tim Bill's
here we
going to
go.
lead him off here on that inside lane.
Pretty good start there by the outside line as well.
Yep. James Wilms right there in behind Tim Bills. Giving him the good old bumper.
Yeah, pretty orderly restart here. Looks like Tim Bills is going to edge out the 77 Snodgrass just a little bit here coming out of turn 2.
Whoops, sorry, that's the 77 of Philia.
Yeah, excuse me.
Yep.
The 80. 80 is Mr. Snodgrass. They're pushing 77 of Joshua Philia.
That's all right. And we got Thomas Haley up there behind those two.
Yeah, we have cars. Yeah, we have cars warping behind each other there.
Oh boy.
71 and James Jacobs had a big scare.
Looking at James Jacobs back here in 13th place. Looks like they're getting a little bit spread out, kind of trying to work with different guys here. As we got the 51 blinking a little bit.
I think that ghosting, yeah, scared a lot of the field back there.
Yeah, it should be interesting as we have the 38 of Thomas Harmon moving to the outside here. Going to be helping out Kyle Snodgrass and Joshua Philia out there.
Yeah, he's looking to make some moves, get some extra stage points here. Coming to just 8 laps to go in this stage.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see what goes on as we have 3 different packs here.
And this first pack, as expected, is definitely the most racy right now. Wilms is really starting to push this 37 of Tim Bills around right here. Really need to take a look here at the 20 car of Greg Edney as he's sitting there in P11 right now. Katie Height right now is the final car that would get stage points at the end of the stage.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Looks like we do have a battle going on for... looks like they're side by side for the top 10 for the points, so they're definitely trying to race for points early here, and it's always good to get those early stage points.
No doubt.
But it should be interesting here as we get to 5, 4, 3 laps to go. What will guys do? Will guys be pushing it 3 wide?
Yeah, and the 77 was finally able to get in front of the 37 there as Snodgrass finally leads the outside line now in the 80 car there, getting pushed by Thomas Harmon in the 38.
Yeah, so it looks like that outside lane is definitely able to fight with the inside lane. The racing's looking really good, man.
Yeah, that outside line is just formed up just a smidge better than that bottom line right now. 70 is really struggling to get to that 12 car. I don't know if he's keeping his distance on purpose or it's just can't quite get there because he doesn't have the help behind him.
Yeah, this is interesting as Thomas Harmon has given Kyle Snodgrass quite the boot into turn 1 here. Just fighting in that outside line. Looks like we have an equal number of cars on the inside and the outside.
Yeah, I mean, your top 17 are quite literally within a second of the lead right now.
Yeah, as it looks like that 60 is what everybody's trying to race here for the stage points. So, a couple of extra guys here in this pack looking for some stage points.
Yeah, and you were saying lap 60. I was thinking of the 60 of Sam Niederhelm here. He was on the bottom now. It's finally getting tightened up a little bit here.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
I believe that's Brown Jr.
Yeah, sorry about that. I meant the car number 60.
Sam Niederhelm is your P10 driver right now. Like Jamie Walker once again is going to hop out of line here. He really wants nothing to do with this tight racing.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
There goes Snodgrass to the lead. Hops in front of the 77 there. Harmon's actually pretty excited to see that probably as he's going to lead that outside line now. But the 77's taking a peek out there, and there he goes to the outside line.
Yep, Thomas Harmon's going to give him a nice push. Let's see if that 77 can get around.
And he will lead that lap.
Is he going to stay up high, or what's he going to do here?
Oh, he's trying to bring Harmon with him, and he will.
Wow, that was quite the push from Harmon there. He's definitely looking for those stage points.
Yeah, now he wants to get to the outside of the 77 now. Like he scared the 00 there a little bit, but now he's getting a pretty good shot there from that Tractor Supply Company car. Oh, a good move there at the 00 of Thomas Haley.
Yeah, Thomas Haley going to the front. These guys are looking really racy. It's great.
Yes, they are.
We've got 3 laps left till the end of the stage.
And there goes the 77 looking back outside. Thomas Harmon can just not get to lead that line.
Yeah, it's definitely a who's going to work with you kind of game, and you definitely got to have the strategy going from here on out to be able to win that stage, because that caution's got to come out as soon as the leader crosses the line.
It's like Harmon's going to edge him out at the line there and get his first lap led of the day. We should be on one more lap after this, the first stage.
Yep, 2 laps left in the stage. Harmon's going to get a big old push from Mr. Josh Davis up there. That's a new name that he must have gotten up there. Katie Height on the outside as well, followed by James Wilms in the 12.
Yeah, and Tim Bills is falling all the way back here into looks like the 7th or 8th position.
These guys
right
on this
now.
outside lane are definitely going to get around the 2 lead cars for this lap. It looks like.
Here we go. Last lap for the stage.
Josh Filias still hanging on there. Thomas Haley giving him a great push. They got Kyle Snodgrass coming in there on the inside to help them out as well.
Yeah, the outside line has numbers, but that inside line just won't go away.
Yeah, that inside lane is fighting. It's going to be pretty close here to the line.
Yes, it will. Harmon has the edge here going into turn 3, but that inside line just gets such a good run in the center.
Harmon's gonna edge it out here, it looks like. Yep. As we get the caution for stage 1, and Thomas Harmon is your leader as they start to slow.
Wow.
Looks like Katie Height in the wall.
Katie might have nicked the wall there, but plenty of time to get that damage fixed here under caution.
Let's take a look, see if.
All right, good run, fellas. Remember, you only get 3 extra sets of tires. It's 3 changes on the right side, 3 changes on the left side. You do not have to pit it if you don't want to. That's right. You get 3 extra sets. You get 3 changes on the right side, 3 changes on the left side. You can't go down pit road and just take nothing but rights all day or just lefts all day.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying all that for the stream. Just trying to get us ready here for them pit stops.
Yeah, I was just on race control there. My mistake. Should have muted.
Oh, no, that's fine.
But good job to Mr. Thomas Harmon. I think he only led 2 laps in that stage, but one of them was the one that counted the most.
Yeah, he
awarded 10 stage points there.
Looks like he definitely had the best strategy for getting out front there on that outside lane, and if we continue to have good runs like this, I think we're going to have a great race there, Sean.
Absolutely. So your top 10 ended up being Thomas Harmon, Joshua Filial. I can't say it. JW, you're going to have to stay with me on
That's
this.
all right.
All right, the 1-2 of Josh Davis ended up coming in home in P3. Thomas Haley in P4. Katie Height P5. Katie Height is someone who is wicked fast, so we'll have to be watching her for sure. But Kyle Snodgrass comes home in P6. James Wilms P7. Russell Brown Jr. P8. Tim Bills in P9. And Sam J. Niederhelm going to come home with that solid one stage point.
As I think they'll be pitting this time. We're going to be seeing who comes into pit and who decides to stay out.
Absolutely. Well, remember, you
Looks
you
like
only
a
get 3
few
extra
guys
changes,
coming in.
like I said.
Top couple of guys not pitting though.
Yeah, well, they should be able to make it a lap 40. I think we talked about it a little bit in the pre-race that you can go about 40 laps.
Let's see here. I think out of all the guys that pit, we had Brian Valles. Looks like he took on fuel probably, and then a couple other guys behind him pit. But otherwise, the top 6 here looks like they did not pit.
Yeah, I mean, I like the strategy of staying out here personally. I mean, if you can make it to the second stage, why would you give up the track position just for some fuel that you're going to have to get more of anyway after the second stage? So for me, I like staying out there. I like the strategy of staying out here and holding out to the second stage and then just topping off there and kind of seeing how the final stage unfolds.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much new tires would help you there after 20 laps, and we had about, what was it, 4 laps under caution. So really they only did about 16 laps, so we'll have to see here if any of the guys that got tires either at the end of that stage or end of next stage, we'll have to see if any of them can make their way up to the front, or if the tire game isn't going to be too much of an issue here.
Yeah, with the track temperature being the same exact as the ambient temperature right now, which is 74 degrees on the nose, I don't see it being much of a factor at all. I think a lot of these guys could go the entire race on one set if they wanted to and be just fine. I think it's more of just a comfort thing rather than an actual speed thing.
Yeah, unfortunately my weather system shows 1% humidity, but we're actually at 69% humidity, so pretty humid out there as well for February, but looks like everybody's car's handling well, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, and with this low ambient temp, it's going to be a little bit tougher to get your car to overheat as well. So you can hop out of line really quickly, and you're be able to get that water and oil temp down a lot faster as well. So that'll definitely be good for some late race bump drafting there too.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like it carried the time over for practice, so we're starting a few hours later than we normally would, seeing the lights come up. That should be interesting for the setups, but I think they should be okay. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it isn't ideal, but it's an honest mistake, bud. Don't worry about it. We're rookies. I'm messing up here too. So hey, for the most part, it's still going to be a good product on track here. So very, very entertaining first stage there. Hopefully.
Yeah, and I realized that mistake. So definitely next time we'll fix that so that then we're at the correct time. But everything should be fine here. I think the super speedways, the setup shouldn't be too much different for day and night anyways, but
nah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine regardless. I have to deal with it.
Oh, sorry, you're cutting out there.
Shut up or not, everyone's gonna have to be dealing with it, so it's no harm, no foul.
Sorry, Sean, we lost you there for a couple seconds.
No worries. Got me now?
Yep, we got you.
Alright, all good. Alright, so we got someone in chat telling us that the number 8 pronunciation is Ham-in.
Hammond. Alrighty.
Okay, that's easy enough to say. We can roll with that one. So good old Chris. I like it. Kind of flows good. See how he does here in the second stage.
Yeah, should be interesting as we've got Thomas Harmon and Josh Filia leading them off. What do you think there, Sean? Do you want to be on the inside or the outside lane?
I mean, I guess it can really come down to who's behind you, but for me, I'd rather just be on the inside line here early in the race. Inside line is always a little safer, I think. You don't have that, the right-hand side that you can get turned into. You have a little bit more room to avoid any of the mayhem that may ensue on the bottom line here early in the race.
Yeah, as looks like they're just coming out of 4, getting ready to go green once again.
Page is going to end here at lap. Another little
Pace car pulls off. Thomas Harmon goes. And we're back green until lap 40.
line.
Sorry, Sean, you keep cutting out for me, so I'm not sure if that's on my end or yours.
As we look like we're 3 wide here.
Yeah, 3 wide.
In the middle.
Number 12 leading that high outside lane with 017.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work out too well for him here early in this race. Doesn't have much help up there. There's Brian Valles to the inside 3 wide in the bottom lane, sitting in P4 now.
Yeah, unfortunately that 77 is going to be able to hook the corner a little bit more even by himself and be able to beat 3 cars on the outside lane there, so they're really starting to go here.
Yeah, and we got the 017 up in the wall. It's like he just got her off there when he stayed green here, but he's going to lose a ton of positions here, possibly even his front pack draft here.
Yeah, that's too bad there for
Goss,
John Nelson
line.
Sr. Looks like he's definitely losing the draft, but as we come back to the leaders, number 51 on that outside lane. Just edging out the lead here on Thomas Harmon. And he's going to drop in
there
front.
Goes Brandon Goss to the bottom line. Leads that lap. Needs to be careful here. He needs to stick to that bottom yellow line because Thomas Harmon will stick him 3 wide the first chance he gets. He's a very aggressive driver here on these plate tracks. It's very passively aggressive, though. He picks and chooses his spots pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there's really any reason to be too aggressive here until I'd say maybe 4 or 5 to go. But you definitely want to stay out front for this part, especially if something happens. I think being out front is probably the best way to avoid it. Anything going on in the middle of the pack, as it looks like these.
Yeah, as Phil Y'all is going to lead that lap.
Yeah, these top 6, 8 guys have been all running together. Sorry, guys and girl. So we got Katie up there still, and looks like they've been all running with each other, really able to draft with each other and doing really well, as Thomas Harmon is right on that bumper of the 51. Almost locking bumpers there.
Yeah, and let's give a shout out here to the 5 car of Glenn Wilson. We haven't said his name yet tonight, I don't believe, and he's doing a good job there, sitting in P4 right now on the outside line, getting pushed by James Williams there in the 12 car.
Yeah, Glenn Wilson coming up and doing some racing here in the second stages. Next time by, we're gonna have 10 laps to go till the next confirmed caution. Hopefully no more.
Absolutely.
Knock on wood again.
Brian Valles, our fellow owner here of the USRC League, is sitting there in P7 right now. He's going to be racing full-time here in the Xfinity Series. First time full racing in over a year. There goes Glenn.
Oh my, looks like the 60s turn.
There goes the 8.
We definitely need a caution here.
Yep.
As the caution comes out, that collected quite a few cars.
Yes, it did.
Let's try to get
I don't know what happened. I just saw the 60 getting turned around. He was able to save it.
Yeah, it looked like the 84 got slowed up a lot. The 60 had to slow up for him, and ooh, looks like the 60 was trying to slow up for Brian, and ended up hitting him, slowed up a little bit too much, and chaos ensued after that.
Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, Sam was having a good run here tonight, and he was able to save it initially and just wasn't able to get her slowed down enough to avoid from hitting that 80. I don't think his damage is going to be terminal, but some other cars.
Yeah, the
quite a
8
few
has damage, the 80 has damage.
Yeah, it looked like the, if I'm not mistaken, the 20 got turned around from someone as well. I think the 91 may have ran the 20 car over there, not knowing there was an incident going on in front of him. 00 of Haley did a really good job avoiding that. Unscathed. Oh, yeah, James Jacobs just runs right into the 67 there at the tail end of that true as well with the 67 of Joe Peter trying to avoid that incident. It's unfortunate. That's just name of the game here at these tracks. You know, it's a Courtney effect, as a lot of people like to say.
Yeah, some guys look like they're pitting there in the back, but everybody else choosing to stay out here.
Yeah, this will not be the stage caution here, obviously, so it's going to be another quick little dash here for the final stage. Thomas Haley's pretty proud of himself and how he avoided that incident. But yeah, it was a pretty good job on his part.
Yeah, pretty good job of these guys keeping it green here for at least 10 laps. You know, I'm definitely enjoying the racing. Or sorry,
Yeah,
I suppose
sure.
I suppose we started at 25, so that was only 5 laps, but it's still for the most part looking good. Looks like only a few issues so far, but hopefully these guys, as they get more used to each other and get used to running with each other, they'll be able to go for longer. But at the end of stage 2 here, we'll have a 60 lap run for them, so
yeah, for sure. So I mean, you know, it's not like anybody's driving over their head. I mean, even that incident was just an honest, you know, racing deal where someone was checking up and the other guy wasn't prepared for it. Just like I said, created that accordion effect. So unfortunate, but it happens here, and it likely will happen again here tonight. So hopefully not, but it certainly is likely. Just a quick reminder here: your next stage is going to be at lap 40. A lot of guys sitting on pit road right now just trying to get their damaged cars fixed. We've seen some seriously beatered and battered cars through the years have really good finishes at a draft track like this, so they're not out of the race by any means.
yeah, it looks like we still got about 25 people still going in the session, so still looking all right for now.
We still actually have 29 cars in lead lap here. So looks like just 2 cars are actual multiple laps down here, so things are looking promising for sure. Still lots of racing to go here, though. Plenty of time for more mayhem, JW.
Yeah, definitely. Let's since we've already gone through most of the top 10, let's go ahead and run through the rest of the guys we got here. We got the Gene Yates, the 012 there. Tim Bills,
long-time member,
in the 37. He's a new one. Josh Durham, he's been in the league. John Nelson Sr. still up there. Looks like he's still up there running after he didn't he get into the wall a little bit and lost the pack?
He did, but looks like he had a good recovery there.
Yeah, he's sitting there in P14. Aaron Cummings behind him, and P14. James Jacobs with a pretty battered up car, it looks like, there in 16th. Mondo Ortiz behind him. Jamal Paug. Dame Newsom and William Van Alstyne. Looks like the Track 1 Motorsports team is sticking close to the back, trying to stay out of trouble and keep their cars together here. Looks like we're one to go.
Yeah, well, if we have a couple more incidents like we just had there, that might be the play, as looks like all their cars are clean for the most part here.
Yeah, the racing definitely seems like they want to race, and this should be an interesting restart here.
Yes, it should. 77's done a pretty good job. We've seen this top 5 get cycled around quite a bit, but the one consistent guy there has been Phil Yaw, staying up there in that front 2 or 3 pretty much the entire race. Brandon Goss, relatively new member to our group here, but kind of filling in a good spot here for us, and is going to be starting there on the outside line here on this restart.
Yeah, as they're coming out of 4 here, pace car's getting ready to pull off, and they're going to be going green once again.
Yeah, another quick little 5-lap dash or so here to the end, and there we go. So restart there at the 77 inside lane. Ooh, and Thomas Harmon in the 12 with James Williams just had a little bit of contact there.
Oh, and James Williams gets turned.
Spinning. Yep.
Ooh, Katie Height involved in that. Caution is out.
Yeah, the caution is out, and
more calamity here as
are we gonna call it a stage there?
Yeah, let's call the stage there.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the end of the second stage there, boys.
Yep, so it looks like Joshua
You'll
Filia.
still be credited with your spot.
Joshua Filia is gonna end up first place there, winning the 10
second stage,
10
yeah.
season points and a playoff point there. So
right, yeah, that's correct. Got to be excited about that, and this is where the strategy really begins now, because I would not be shocked to see some guys stay out here who pitted in the first stage, knowing that they can make it to lap 60 or so. But we're gonna have to see. I mean, everyone's gonna have to pit one more time, no matter what, assuming we stay green, which we haven't really shown here in this second stage that's going to be the case, but you never know.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go through top 10 for that stage there. We got Joshua Filia, Glenn Wilson in second, Brandon Goss in third, Thomas Harmon finished out fourth, Josh Davis in fifth, Jamie Walker in sixth, Thomas Haley seventh, Gene Yates, Aaron Cummings, and Matt Burgess finish out the top 10 for that stage.
Yeah, and I'm just going to go back a quick second here and take a peek at what happened in this incident. All I know is that I saw the 12 get turned around. Don't know if this was a bad case of bump drafting or what, but 12 definitely got spun around by somebody.
Yeah, unfortunately we missed the replay on that, trying to get the stage figured out. As they're coming down pit road now.
Yeah, it looks like the 69 of Katie Height just spun that 12 car around.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, hooked them just right there in the left rear.
Yeah, these guys are definitely racy for early in this race, but hopefully as things get straightened out here, we can get a good green flag running.
Like I said, I expect a lot of these guys to be racing to lap 60, because we believe that you can go about 40 laps or so in a tank. So if you get to lap 60, you'll be able to go the rest of the distance. So I think taking 4 tires here and a full load of fuel is obviously the play, in my opinion, because then you can just come down, take fuel, and you're good to go the rest of the race. What do you think?
Yeah, it should be an interesting strategy there. I'm not sure how many laps that they can make it, but we'll have to see. It's up to them for the fuel strategy on their part, but should make it interesting if they have to pit again under green.
Yeah, and the 77 here is just sitting on pit road. I don't believe he has any damage, so I don't know if this is a little Joe Petrick bathroom style break or what we're doing there, but he's just lost all of his track position.
Yeah, he's just pulled off now, so doesn't look like he'll go a lap down.
No, he'll stay on the lead lap here, but definitely will not be anywhere near the front. As once again, we still have 27 cars in the lead lap. Even with all these incidents, guys are doing their best to stay on the lead lap here.
Yeah, that's an interesting strategy. It might be trying to stay in the complete back and just try and run around here until the pit stop, or I'm not sure what's going on there, but looks like we're going to be leading off with Matt Burgess there for the restart when that comes around. Josh Davis behind him, Aaron Cummings and Kyle Snodgrass.
Yeah, so and I also want to make a quick correction there. Only 24 cars in the lead lap, so a couple of guys did just go an extra lap down there, but only 3 guys are lap down right now. The 62, William Van Alstine, Gene Yates, and Russell Brown Jr. all 1 lap down right now, so they'll be battling for the lucky dog here in this run.
Alrighty.
So we definitely have had some incidents here tonight, JW, but nothing that has really been, severely terminal for anybody. I mean, a lot of these guys are still running. Even that guys who are laps down are still running. They're trying to power through it. So I mean, we'll see if that big one still happens.
Yeah, it looks like even though some wrecks have happened close to the front, looks like everybody's staying pretty safe there, making sure that they can slow down in time for the wreck. I think that's really what you just got to do this early in the race, and having those early cautions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially this early in the season as well. I mean, a lot of these guys are running for the Xfinity Series Points Championship, so these guys are obviously wanting to win this race. But looking on the long haul here, I mean, they obviously want to get as many points out of this as they can.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think. Sorry. Brain fart there for a second.
You're alright.
Yeah, it should be interesting, them all getting points for every single stage, the guys that are able to consistently get stage points for each stage are more likely going to have a better chance, if they have to miss a couple races, that they can kind of edge out in the points with just being consistent.
Absolutely, as looks like the 11 car here of Matt Burgess is going to lead these guys down to start this race back, but he does have some nose damage.
Yeah, that should be interesting to see what he does on the restart, if he's going to have the arrow to stay out front, or if they're going to try to make a move or what, but hopefully they can get that all sorted out. Doesn't look too bad on there. Maybe with a good push there from Aaron Cummings. He should be.
Yeah, we haven't talked too much about him, but yeah, there's actually quite a few cars here in the top 10 that have at least some form of damage. James Jacobs there has quite a bit of nose damage. The 015, who was our pole sitter, Jamie Walker's back inside the top 10 there. He has a little bit of nose damage as well.
Yeah, I wonder if some of these guys that got damaged decided to try to get it up to the front to try and have a better chance as we're going green.
Yeah, there we go. Now 122 there on the outside does have a clean car, so we'll see if he gets a better run here or not. That Ford Mustang.
51.
Josh Davis there leading that outside line.
Sorry, Sean. The 51. Brandon Goss dropped into the low line, trying to get around that 80. Looks like the 80's slow.
Yeah, there goes Glenn Wilson.
The 000 of Aaron Cummings making a move on the 11. 5. Glenn
Yeah,
Wilson's going to give the 11 a push, though. Keep him in
it's
front.
actually going to be a little bit easier for Glenn to give that 11 a shot because he's going to be a mile per hour or two off with that nose damage, you think. So sucking up to him is going to be a little bit easier.
Yeah, 11 able
Doing
to
a good
hold
job
on
right
the
now.
front for now. Looks like that outside lane is forming, though.
Yes, it is. There goes the 00 of Thomas Haley, I believe it is, into the bottom line there behind James Jacob in the 71 car.
Aaron Cummings leading that outside lane in the 000.
Yeah, you see that 80 car. I think that might be Snodgrass back there. He's got some damage, and he's struggling to keep up with these guys in front of him here.
Ooh, is they're going to send it 3 wide?
Yeah, Jamie Walker recognizes that damage and wants to get around him, trying to bring Tim Bills in the 37 with him.
They're going to try to make it happen on the outside there, but
And there
it's
goes
hard
Glenn
to do.
Wilson, hops outside there in front of Aaron Cummins. Glenn Wilson wants to lead this race. He's going to lead this lap.
Looks like they are going to make their way around Kyle Snodgrass. Yep, Glenn Wilson slides to the top side. Getting a good push there from the 000.
Right back to the bottom. I think Glenn might regret to go back to that bottom here because that outside line is formed up just a little bit better here in this bottom lane. Aaron Cummings has a car length advantage or so on him right now.
Yeah, he's got quite the advantage. He's gonna, looks like he's moving down to the bottom there, slides back up in front of the 122.
Yeah, he didn't want to leave his pusher there, and that gave Glenn a pretty good run here.
Yeah, that's
Really close to
dangerous.
the line this time.
That outside lane is not easy to run in, unfortunately. You know, the NASCAR guys, of course, they make it look easy, but running that outside lane is so much harder because you don't have that yellow line to
use as a reference.
to use as a reference. So the guy behind pushing has really got to make sure he locks on. It looks like
Absolutely,
the 122 is doing a good job.
Coming up.
Lap car staying on the bottom. Wow, he moves to the apron there. Good for that. Otherwise, everybody made it through.
Awfully hectic there. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm trying to look inside the top 10 here. I mean, there's not many cars that don't have any damage. Glenn Wilson's definitely one of them. He continues to lead this race here.
Yeah, Glenn's still strong there on the inside, getting pushed by the number 11 of Matt Burgess. Brandon Goss.
Brandon Goss in tow behind.
Brandon Goss still back there.
That outside line's doing pretty good considering how formed this bottom lane is. As I say that.
Brandon Goss gets on the apron a little bit there. He's able to slide back up.
Scary there for a moment.
Luckily,
Jamie Walker had to check up there, but
yeah, Jamie Walker, good experienced driver. He'll check up for him there.
absolutely.
Not trying to push the issue too much. As we got James Jacobs up there racing with him. That's 71.
Yeah, and in the 000 of Aaron Cummings did lead that lap.
Yep. So
Here comes back Glenn Wilson with that 11 in tow.
Yeah, that 11 really able to slide up on the 5's bumper. Give him a great push.
You see Thomas Harmon sneaking back into the picture here in the bottom line with Tim Bills behind him. And there goes the 51 to the outside line there. He wants to lead this race. They need a little bit more help, I think, though, to be able to get it done.
Yeah, that outside lane is really struggling to work together here compared to the 5 and the 11. That 11 is really giving that good push, and then they got Jamie Walker behind them, so a lot of experienced super speedway racers down there in that bottom lane. I think that's where I would want to be.
For sure. See a little bit of a check up there on the inside line. That might help the outside line here. We have to go into the tri-oval. You see the double zero of Thomas Haley, who continues to move inside and out, goes back to the bottom line. Looks like Thomas decides to go to the outside lane here. It's just a few laps away from halfway here.
51 was able to get a little bit of an advantage there in the straightaway, but now they're starting to fall back as the turn comes in. Looks like that bottom lane has got a couple more cars in it.
Yeah, and you have to think that 11 car is going to start overheating here pretty soon, especially with a messed up nose. It's going to make your temperatures rise a little bit. So like I said earlier in the race, this low ambient temperature is going to help the cool off time, but you can't get any air to it at all. It's still going to get hot. So don't be surprised if he hops to the outside line any minute now.
Yeah, it should be interesting. You hate to see that happen, but fortunately with the fixed setup here, we can only do so much. But maybe with them running the day setup, the tape might be less, so they might be okay. We'll have to see.
Oh, we got a wreck in the back here. I don't know if I should throw the yellow for that or not. Didn't get a good look at it. Let me take a quick peek. It would look like a single car incident, so we're going to stay green here.
Yeah, that looked like Kyle Snodgrass got involved in that one. He looks like he's got quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, he already had a little bit of damage before that incident, so it just kind of combated his rough race here so far, even though things look so good early in the race for him.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we don't have any actual debris here in iRacing, so unless that lead pack wrecks, I'd really prefer not to call the caution. So unfortunately, guys will have to deal with that, and he'll have to hope for a caution to get back into this one. As checking back in with the leaders. Still got the number 11 behind that 5 pushing.
Yeah, and we're 10 laps away here from when I think the window opens to be able to make it on one more stop. So would not be surprised to see some green flag pit stops here once lap 60 rolls around.
Yeah, as we just hit lap 50 now. Halfway in the race. I tell you what, Sean, I really like the kind of racing that the truck package and the Xfinity package have here on iRacing for the super speedways. Unfortunately, that Cup package just does not really promote racing, as you can't really make it happen 2 or 3 wide here like the Xfinity and truck cars.
Yeah, I mean, I really couldn't agree more. There's been speculation that in the March update they're going to make some changes to the draft package here, especially the Sty draft. So if that's the case, maybe the Cup cars will get a little more racy. But until then, definitely the trucks and the Xfinity put on the best show here when it comes to the packages for drafting at these racetracks.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see once they do that package update, if guys will start moving to the top and we'll have racing just like in real life, or what we'll have to be able to deal with that. But I don't know about your thoughts, but I really like this kind of racing as compared to what happened in real life today, earlier today.
Yeah, it's really not even the same type of racing here. I mean, they weren't side by side much at all in that race. Hopefully it'll be different for the 500. But here comes Jamie Walker. That's your pole sitter who decided to go to the back early in the race. Does have maybe a smidge of front damage, I can't tell, but he's sitting here bidding for the lead here on the outside line with Thomas Haley pushing him.
Yeah, he's getting a great push there from the double zero. There's Glenn Wilson and Matt Burgess still down there on the bottom working together.
Yeah, they're still doing a good job. I think you just noted it about this good package here for this race, for these cars, excuse me, at these racetracks. And I'm really surprised that this 11 is able to keep pace. I know that nose damage isn't that bad, but nose damage can be pretty catastrophic at some of these types of racetracks. So he's obviously doing a good job staying in this draft here. I think if he got out front, he would get run over, but in the draft, he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, it looks like we got 5 cars in there on the outside lane. 6 cars on the inside, so...
All right, now it's an 11-car breakaway in this front pack.
All the way
Once
back
again, I
to
do think,
Sam Niederhelm,
yeah, Sam and the 77 who
almost a
we
quarter
talked
of the
about.
track back there.
Yeah, they're over 10 seconds back, unfortunately. And then you got another little 3-car pack of, I believe you said that's New One Track Racing, I believe you said. I'm not sure what you said that team was, but the 51 thought about making it 3 wide.
Track 1 Motorsports.
Track 1 Motorsports. All right, well, those 3 guys are definitely doing a good job working together. They can stay in the lead lap here because if we stay green all the way, they're going to really, really struggle getting caught up here.
Yeah, looks like we got Brian Valles and Joe Petrick back behind them as well, and Jonathan Thomas. So
Yeah, I think unfortunately they all picked up damage in one of those previous incidents. I'm just kind of struggle on through this one and take home some.
yeah, it should be interesting to see here if we get another caution or if they get some green flag pit stops in.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking real green flag-like, isn't it, JW?
Yeah, I definitely knock on wood again. Hopefully we can, even though that hasn't helped so far. Checking back in here with the leaders, we still got Jamie Walker there on the outside with Thomas Haley pushing him.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see someone maybe enter pit road a little bit too aggressively here, and if they're off the racing surface, I'm not going to throw the yellow here. So, pit road entry is not something I saw a lot of these guys practice. So,
as we got a lapped car that they're passing right now, that's the 91. Looks like they're going to be able to make it by him just fine. That outside lane a little bit more. Ooh, as James Jacobs makes quite the move outside in front of the 51 of Brandon Goss.
Yeah.
They're starting to form that outside lane, trying to make something happen, but you know, I would expect if anybody gets in front of the front guy on the bottom lane that they're gonna drop down and just, you know, take one car away from that outside lane, unfortunately. So it's really an interesting strategy to see, you know, which lane guys choose when and if they decide to help that outside lane or not. As you can definitely get guys lined up on that outside lane and pass the leader. It just takes enough of them, as it looks like.
And that time at the line, it was really tough to
it's
tell.
Just
I think it
about
might have
equal.
been Glenn Wilson. Yeah, I think it might have been Glenn Wilson by an absolute nose that time by. But, man, that's a little preview to what we're going to see at the line, and that's going to be a really, really close finish right there.
Yeah, 0.001 of a second.
Wow. Once again, looks like I'm still speculating whether or not, you know, these guys are going to start pitting here at lap 60 or not. I mean, we're just a few laps away. That outside line gets a little discombobulated as Glenn Wilson, the 11, started pulling away a little bit at 37. And
yeah, what's your strategy if you're leading on the outside lane here, Sean, and you got a pit stop coming up?
yeah, I mean, you could stay out an extra lap. You could fall to the back. You could just try to get in line. There's a lot of different things you could do, but I think it really just comes down to whether or not you're going to have enough guys coming with you or not. If you're only going to have 1 or 2 cars coming, you might as well just keep staying out there, you know, and just kind of see what happens. So, as it looks like these guys are falling to the back a little bit now.
Yeah, they're going to go 3 wide here. Thomas Haley's going to get by the 0.15 there. Unfortunately, the outside lane kind of fizzled out there. I think they're definitely starting to think about pitting.
Yeah, for sure, as we're, like you said, getting single filed out here for the most part. Thomas Tarman's still out there on the outside line by himself right now. Oh, and the 000 is getting turned right now. And that's going to bring out a yellow.
Yep. That's the 2-0 cars. Unfortunately, they
yeah, it looked like Thomas Haley just clipped his right rear there, the 000, and sent him around.
Yeah, let's get a replay on that here. Ooh, yeah, maybe he thought he was clear, but definitely wasn't. And who's that in front that ended up getting caught in that? Somebody else got caught in that, but yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah,
Fortunately,
it's unfortunate. We were
only
just about to see
only three
green flag
cars.
stops there. Yeah, yeah. Well, it was a small pack, but this will bump everyone back together, which is a good thing. But unfortunately, we're not going to see green flag pit stops here tonight. I would speculate that everyone's probably going to be able to make it on fuel now if you come in here.
Yeah, we
Would
saw.
not be shocked to see some guys stay out, but I really think everyone should come down pit road here.
Yeah, we definitely saw a little bit longer of a green run there with a few less cars there in the lead pack. Unfortunately, no green flag stops this time, but luckily we can get everybody back up into the lead pack and start them again.
Absolutely, and Glenn Wilson is sitting pretty right now. I mean, he's definitely by far led the most laps than anyone tonight so far, and going to be coming down pit road first here. He didn't qualify too well, I don't believe, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he qualified 15th tonight. So not an ideal pit box for him, but nevertheless, he's still sitting P1 right now. See how he comes out after the pit stop.
Yeah, he's definitely been able to survive, and staying out front, I think, is definitely the best place to be. And he's had such a great pusher in Matt Burgess that those two guys working together, I think we're gonna have to watch for the end of this race.
Absolutely.
It looks like they're just coming down pit road now. Looks like
Yeah, and Glenn Wilson overshot his box just a smidge.
yeah.
Had to back up. That's going to cost him just a couple extra seconds here. May cost him the lead off of it.
Yeah, looks like he loses quite a few spots there off the pit road. Fortunately, my race off pit road thing on my overlay isn't working, but we'll have to get that squared away.
Yeah, well, we're still learning.
Yeah, just the first official race that we've been here together in the booth, so still trying to figure
first
everything out.
time I've ever admitted a race before, so we're getting everything together here. But 2 weeks from now, we'll be pros.
Yeah, definitely.
In the meantime, though, pretty big shakeup here in the field. A lot of those guys are going to be able to get the rest of their damage fixed, which is good for them. Maybe fuel strategy would come into play here, so we'll see what happens. I think there might be a guy or two out front who may be close on fuel if they lead their line all the way around, because you will burn more fuel. You are the leader of the draft, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, definitely should be interesting here as Tim Bills has got some damage he's going to end up pulling off here for pit road. So, looks like we're going to have Jamie Walker here leading them back to the green.
Yeah, and Glenn Wilson's going to fall all the way back to P6 here in this race. Not what he wanted to see here once that caution. One guy does put right back in the middle of this race, though, is a 77 of Joshua Filia. He had stayed on pit road a little bit longer there for some reason under our last caution and lost all of his track position, but here he is right back inside the top 5 again. Just wanted to send out a quick reminder here that if you any type of device right now watching the stream, you can actually scroll down the featured drivers tab if you're on mobile as well and check out all the guys who are in this series that do actually stream their point of view while racing. So if you want to go check those guys out, you click them and follow them, and you're going to get a lot more iRacing action out of those guys as well. So if you want to see some first-person perspectives from these drivers as they're racing, be sure to go check those guys out.
Yeah, definitely. I like to use the site multi-stream. That one's a pretty good one for just throwing up everybody's stream during the race, and you can throw the broadcast up there too and get a whole bunch of different angles on this race.
Yeah, absolutely.
As it looks like the lights on the pace car are out.
Those are going to be your front row. I'm there in P5. I believe he was your stage 1 winner, if I'm not mistaken. So he is still, by all means, in this race, as is Glenn Wilson. I mean, obviously he would have rather stayed in P1 there, but he's still sitting in position 6. Clean. See what he can, make happen here.
Yeah, unfortunately, my overlay's screwing up a little bit with the relatives there, but I think the positions look right. So once again, have to iron out these issues for the next couple of weeks, as we're brand new to this. But thank you guys all for watching, and we hope you're enjoying the racing so far. As they're making their way into turn 3 here, getting ready to go back green once again. Gonna have about 36 laps of racing left to do.
Absolutely, and we still have 18 cars here in the lead lap, so that's going to put all these guys back together, and you have to think even those guys with a lot of damage are going to be trying to stay up there now. They know that there's no more cautions guaranteed. A lot of these guys should be able to make it on fuel, so this is possible that this is the final run of the race here.
Yeah, we definitely hope that as the pace car pulls off, and we're getting ready to go back green here.
And the outside line didn't get the best start, but he's starting to pull back a little bit now. Tim Bills is.
Yep, so we got 2 new guys versus 2 veterans in there on the inside lane, so going to be interesting to see who goes with who and what kind of lanes here develop for this hopefully last run here.
And your top 6 are, looks like the 77 is going to stick him 3 wide for the lead here. Going to turn 3. 37 is going to get hung out to dry there. Wilson following in behind that 77.
Yeah, luckily he's able to slot back in front of Matt Burgess there and hold on to his position as Thomas Harmon slides to the outside.
And Glenn Wilson's giving that 77 car a great shove, and he's going to lead that. Tucked in right behind Joshua Filio. 77 is yet to take a look at the bottom, and there he goes. I think it was going to happen eventually, as now Glenn Wilson is leading that outside lane with Thomas Harmon behind him.
Yep, Jamie Walker going to give him a big shove there down the back straight. Looks like that outside lane is not too well organized, though they got James Jacobs back there, and behind them, Brandon Goss and Matt Burgess. Looks like Brandon Goss is going to drop to the inside of James Jacobs there, and you definitely don't want to lose that front pack, but looks like Mr. Jacobs has some damage, so it's going to be hard for him to keep up.
Yeah, but he does have a single file group behind him, which are definitely going to be trying to catch back up here to this initial little pack, like you said. So
yeah, if I were that 1151, I'd try to work together here to try to stay with that main pack, because they're starting to, yeah, it looks like they'll be able to hold on. As the pack's starting to thin out here, is how many guys we got left on the lead lap?
It's like 18 right now.
Alrighty, so still quite a few cars in contention. Anything
can happen.
Oh yeah, anything can happen. As looks like we do have a second pack back there, being led by that Track 1 Motorsports. Mr. Armando Ortiz leading them on the top side there. It looked like they were 3 wide there. Will on the apron.
Yeah, this is not the most ideal racing for these guys. These guys need to be single file here, trying to get everything together here to catch this front pack. Side by side is not what these guys want to be right now.
Yeah, definitely
If
not.
they finally do get singled out.
Checking back in with that lead pack. Looks like we only got 3 cars on the outside lane.
Yeah, Glenn Wilson and Thomas Harmon are still holding strong there on that outside line, trying to bring Brandon Goss with them, but just don't quite have the numbers yet to get that little extra surge they need. They're still doing a pretty good job out there, though.
Jamie Walker giving a big shove to that 77.
You see that 5 and that 38 get alongside them on the back stretch and the front stretch. So they struggle here in the center of the corner. Is where they give up all their time, but off is really where you're going to pick up the most time here. You see Glenn Wilson pulls along that 77, and he might lead this lap, and he does. John Nelson, I believe, decided to hop outside as Glenn Wilson goes back to the inside. Back to the point Glenn Wilson goes.
Yeah, I definitely think with this small of a pack, you want to take every advantage you can using that outside lane to get to the front and try and hold on. As a 77 drops to the outside in front of Thomas Harmon. Joshua Filia will lead that lap. As him and Thomas Harmon are still trying to work on that outside lane. Everybody trying to side draft and slow each other down. Ooh. Glenn Wilson going for quite the side draft there.
Yeah, and they have a lap car coming up here in the next lap or so. Calling out that he's going to stay high. We'll see how they navigate through here.
Yeah, it looks like we got a couple lap cars up there. Let's check that out. Looks like that's James Lindau.
So 10-car breakaway here. I guess 8-car breakaway as Josh Thurman and James Jacobs are sitting in P9 and 10. Just off this lead pack, a second and a half back of the leader. They're doing everything they can to get called back up.
Yeah, as it looks like that lap car is going high.
Yep, and these top 6 are now lined up 3 and 3.
They're all able to
the lap
make it
car
by
coming high
hand.
here.
Wow. Great racing by these guys. Really been enjoying this race. How about you, Sean?
Yeah, I can't complain. Like I said, way more side-by-side racing here in this race than it was in the Xfinity race.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see what that new package brings for us in iRacing, but you know, the cars have never been handling exactly the way I would say other than the truck cars, they never handle exactly the way that they do really the same year that they are in iRacing. As Thomas Harmon gets turned and Glenn Wilson,
wow,
we're going to need a yellow for that. Ooh, Brandon Goss involved, Matt Burgess. Ooh,
Glenn.
looked like there was still some crashing going on back there.
Yeah, that was a huge incident. It looked like, I believe maybe Thomas Harmon got hooked, possibly, or he did the hooking. I don't know. I caught the tail end of that, but wow. Glenn went for a serious ride right there.
Yeah, we're going to have to rewind it here for you guys and get a replay on that one.
Yeah, it looks like Glenn Wilson comes up a little bit on the 38. Oh, and we have a case of net code here. The 015 of Jamie Walker net coded Thomas Harmon here. Unfortunately, it looks like some significant net code here to his left rear. Spun Glenn Wilson around.
Oh yeah, that is some serious net code. Wow. Sent Glenn absolutely
Man,
flying, too.
yeah, the amount of G-forces would have snapped his neck in 6 different places and killed him.
Boy.
Wow. Wow, we have to be grateful the cars are made by pixels there. Goodness.
Yeah, definitely.
And once again, Joshua Filial comes out unscathed.
Yeah, and Thomas
All he saw
Harmon
was
was
Glenn.
still up there. I'm not sure if he got damage from that or not, but
Yeah, I mean,
looks
he
like they're
obviously was
coming
the
down
guy who
pit road
initially.
here to.
Yeah, Harmon initially got neck coated, so I don't know if it actually. Yeah, he definitely has rear damage here, but certainly did not get the brunt of that.
Did that
Wow.
77 didn't get caught in that, did he?
No, he was literally not touched.
Hmm.
So
So he might be doing
that's
a
a
tire
shame that neck
strategy
code.
here.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't really know. I mean, unless
Oh,
he
it looks
stayed
like he
out in
just
that
stopped
previous
for
caution.
tires or for fuel. I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say unless he stayed out in that previous caution and was if that's the case, and that yellow was very very timely for him because he likely would have been pretty short um, on fuel. But man, that's unfortunate.
yeah, that's unfortunate. The racing has been looking really well.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Glenn. He made a mistake on pit road, but got right back to where he wanted to be, and then just something that Thomas Harmon can't do anything about. I mean, it's not Jamie Walker's fault either. I mean, it
Yeah,
was neck code.
unfortunately, there's nothing really anybody can do about the net code. You could you
Yeah,
can chalk it up to somebody's internet, but at the same time, I mean, what's a guy
the
gonna do
iRacing
while
server
they're
that dictates
racing
it.
about their internet? So,
Yes,
and unfortunately, it can be an
yeah,
iRacing server issue too. So, unfortunately, that's what we
yeah.
have
I
to do
mean,
racing online. But
here recently the server and netcode hasn't been too big of an issue for iRacing, but that was a significant case of netcode there, unfortunately. So just thinned out our pack even more, sadly. But I don't know. We might see a new face win this race now. Looks like the 017 of John Nelson Sr. is going to be leading this race here with Joshua Durham, the 72 car there, and on the front row there. So James Jacobs looks like he's going to be sitting P3 here in this restart.
yeah, despite all that damage,
Un-
James Jacobs has been able to survive most of this race.
right, aside from that nose damage, his car looks okay in the rear, so see how he fares in the draft here. Also, Dame Newsom sitting in P4. These guys been sitting in the back pretty much the entire race here, but once again, sitting in P4 now. His car looks relatively clean to me.
Yeah, it looks like Track One Motorsports. Those guys knew that there was going to be some crashing going on, and they've been staying in the back waiting for this opportunity. But how long do you stay in the back before you go, Sean? Because I'm not sure. With four guys in their team, I think that they could definitely make a run for the lead and stay out front if they all
Yeah,
can stick together and push each other.
yeah, for sure. I mean, if you got four guys, that are going to push you. You can play it a couple of different ways. I mean, honestly, if you got that many guys that are going to go out there with you, I'd wait to the last minute. Because if you all four in line there and you can get to the outside, you're absolutely going to dust those guys in the bottom line or the outside, however it plays out. So
Yeah.
you can get lined up here. I mean, you really have, you're in the catbird seat, as they say.
Still got Sam back there in seventh. I think he was involved in an early crash, but he's still out there. Looks like
It was.
he doesn't have too much damage. Joe
Yeah, not
Petrick,
too bad.
Jamie Walker, unfortunately back there now. He's gonna have to deal with some damage, but still have a number of cars running. Looks like 13. So unfortunately, some carnage, as I would call it, in this race.
Oh,
But
yeah, for sure.
hopefully, once that we get to Atlanta next week, we'll be able to see what the 1.5s are like with the new package, and should be interesting to see what the racing is like there.
Right. Well, in the Xfinity Series, there will be no new package
Oh,
this
that's
year,
right.
unfortunately. So, and the Cup Series won't be in the package till March anyway. But I have a pretty good idea of what we're going to see there at Atlanta. So, expect to see lots of tire wear. Possibly some guys moving around there in turn one. We're going to have to be very particular about tire strategies, which aren't going to be as big of an issue here. but Atlanta, it's going to be a big thing. So, you see we got the lights on the pace car out, but looking forward to next week. I like Atlanta. I like these slick, more difficult to drive tracks. I think it provides for some really good, entertaining racing.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys will show up and come out and watch next week as well.
Yeah, Atlanta is definitely one of my favorite tracks. Almost always because, it's usually a hot, slick track, and really the saving tires and just trying to race it like an endurance race, I think is why I love it so much. Because you just got to take care of your tires, take care of your car, and it's one of the longest races of the year too.
Really interesting. So yeah, it'll be fun to watch. Hopefully, we won't have as many guys backing out early in the race because they've been wrecked out. But you never can tell. So we're about to go green here. His pace car is about to pull off. Here we go. John Nelson's going to lead this restart, and away he goes.
Green flag back in the air with about 24 laps left.
Yeah, James Jacobs on the bottom line there is way off with the 0.17. Really, no one has a great push right now, and here comes Van Alstyne pushing the 71. Maybe you need to keep an eye on the 77 car here in the bottom line. So again, he probably has one of the cleanest cars in this race. He's been up front pretty much all day long.
Yeah, it looks like Track 1 Motorsports is split between the inside and the outside lane right now. There.
Yeah, and already starting to see a 6 or 7 car breakaway here as those guys at the damage are just really struggling to keep up.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for those guys, but it looks like we got a little pack of guys with damage, so they're still going to be able to race with each other, and should be interesting to see here as we're too wide for the first 7 cars, and 77 drops down, leaving only 2 on the outside lane that time. I would think most of these guys would want to be single file for at least a couple laps here.
And Joe Petrick is starting to get that bottom line there formed up with all those damaged cars. I know, right back in the draft now. Did a good job of forming that lane, and he's looking back outside now. I wouldn't agree with that, but let's see what he can get going here. Does have a little bit of rear damage, but nevertheless, he's sticking in this draft.
Yeah,
now.
It looks like Thomas Harmon's the first one that's struggling with some damage to keep up there.
Yeah, and there goes Josh Durham of the 72 to the bottom lane. Takes the lead there. Dame Newsom right behind him here in the bottom line. 77's already looking back outside. Joshua Filial.
You got it right that time, Sean.
Yeah. Gonna flex a little bit on him.
Yeah, I think we'll get used to that as these guys stick around and we get more races under our belt.
For sure. Like Dame Newsom's doing a pretty good job right there, giving the 72 of Joshua Durham a shove there.
And it looks like
coming to 20 laps to go this time by.
Yep.
And once again, as soon as Joe Petrick hopped to the outside line, they lost that draft, and he's back in the bottom line now trying to get caught back up. I think he really needs to stay down in that bottom line, try to hit his shortest distance around, since he just is going to be a little bit off of top-end speed.
Yeah, Will and Josh, they're on the outside lane. They're able to stick with this 3-car inside lane. Looks like Josh is almost going to lead that one.
Yeah, he leads that lap by about a half car length or so.
We got 2 Joshuas at the
racy.
front, so unfortunately that's
these guys are getting a little bit racy behind him. They're now side by side over there, Joe Petrick and James Jacobs. I really don't think that's a good idea. They're just ever so a bit losing this front draft. We'll see if they can get caught back up. I hope they do. I want as many players in this final pack as possible.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jamal Pogue lost that front pack, and he's in there with a whole bunch of guys that.
Oh, and the 4 car just blew his engine. 4 car just blew his engine.
Oh.
Oh, we got Joe Petrick in the 18.
Oh, Joe's going to be able to save it.
Joe's in the infield. He's going to have to come back up on the track, though. This is going to be interesting.
Oh, boy. Oh, wow.
Wow,
he was able to save
Joe.
it. Nice job. As
Yeah,
we stay green here. He's going to lose quite a few positions, but keeps his car in the running in case another yellow comes out, which looks like they're very spread out now after that one.
Yeah, really spread out.
Joshua Filia, William Van Alstyne, and Josh Durham there. The top 3, then followed by James Jacobs and Jamie Walker.
Yeah, so that's going to put just 12 cars or so in the lead lap now, as the 4 car of Dave Newsom is obviously going to be done for the race now, as that engine decided to pop on him. So don't know if he overheated or what happened, but man, she just blew out of nowhere. He didn't say anything on the mic, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Like James Jacobs and Jamie Walker are doing everything they can to get caught back up to these front 2, but man, this is turned into a relatively uneventful pack very quickly here.
Yeah, it's interesting. James Jacobs looks like he's able to catch those 3 guys, but interesting turnout.
We do have Thomas Harmon, Jonathan Thomas, and John Nelson Sr. Lined up here. And Pete, let's see, the 6 through 8. But we'll have to see if they can get caught back up or not. It looks like James Jacobs and Jamie Walker are going to get caught back up to these front 3 eventually.
Yeah, that is one of those things that kind of plays into the strategy, not having the automatic cautions. A guy can't just stop on the track and try to get his track position back. So unfortunately, he's going to have to wait for a pretty big wreck here to have another cautions. We want these guys to race.
Unfortunately, there's not really going to be a chance for a pretty big wreck because these guys are so strung out. But
yeah,
so there will be a chance for a wreck nevertheless. You guys are getting racy as James Jacobs was able to catch this pack back, but Jamie Walker's going to lose this draft. There's pretty significant rear damage there, and that's what's happening. He's got a little bit more drag coming from that spoiler, and he's not going to be able to catch this pack unless he gets picked up here from these other 3 behind him.
Yeah, definitely as they get strung out, it gets harder and harder to hold on to that front pack.
Yeah, and it's a real shame, JW. I mean, this is first 2 stages were pretty orderly and pretty clean, but things kind of just broke loose here pretty quickly, and next thing you know, we got, barely 10 cars in the lead lap. So it's a shame, but that's Daytona. That's going to happen here in Talladega sometimes and plenty of other racetracks as well.
Yeah, we had at least a couple problems there that took out quite a few cars from, neck code and blinking and all that other stuff. So other than that, I thought that the racing was really, really good. So unfortunately, that comes down to, internet problems or iRacing problems. Otherwise, we would have had more guys up there. But unfortunately, first race of the season, it's probably going to happen. These guys got to get used to each other, and hopefully after this one, that looking forward to the next super speedway race at Talladega coming up in I think, what is it, April?
Yeah, a couple months away, I believe. But
yeah, so they're definitely going to be using what they learned here there, because 2 very similar tracks as far as super speedways go.
Yeah, it looks like quite a few guys learned what not to do more than what to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately, here tonight. But good news is that Jamie Walker from P5 to P8 have all lined up here. And we'll see if this 4-car pack can catch these guys. Right now it's like the front 4 are single file, but Van Alstyne has really been looking outside consistently, and he wants to be out there. So if they get side by side, wouldn't be shocked to see Jamie Walker on back be able to.
Yeah, it looks like that pack is kind of fanning out, going too wide right now.
Yeah, that's a mistake. I think Jamie just came on the mic here and said that he thought he was slowing him down, so that was a little bit courteous, actually, even though it did cost him a little bit of time.
Yeah, it looks like
now, but now they're back in single file.
Looks like Jamie does have front and rear damage to that thing, so
Yeah, but these guys are 2x2 in front of them now, so this is going to give them some time to make up now. So that's actually a good thing for these guys. If they can get side by side here for a couple laps, they might be able to knock a few seconds out.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how much damage they got as Thomas Harmon blinks.
He did, yes. Yeah, they're getting racy up here for the lead now. Van Alstyne is side by side here with the 77 of Joshua Filial. Twice in a row there, JW. Say the name right. How about
Hey,
that?
there you go. Yeah, the 70.
How about James Jacobs, though?
Yeah, James Jacobs
Dude's
has
car
been
just
able
looks
to
battered.
survive this race. He's been doing a real good job of staying up there, avoiding the wrecks, and he's in it to win it.
For sure. I think, I don't know if winning is in the cards for him unless everything really unfolds properly with that nose damage, because he's going to be significantly slower out of the draft when he's getting pushed, but
Yeah.
you never know.
Well, maybe
He's
he
put
could
himself in position.
give somebody a push and finish second too. So, definitely a good result looking like for him. Knock on wood.
And this 77's coming on the mic here. He's not happy with the 62.
Yeah, the 62 side drafting him quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, they're talking back and forth here. They're not pleased. Got a lap car coming up here, the 000 of Aaron Cummings, I believe that is. Staying on the high side.
Yeah, as it looks like we're coming to 10 to go right now.
Yep, and even with this group with John Nelson Sr. and all the way back to Jamie Walker and P8, even with them being single file and these front four being side by side, they're still losing over a second a lap, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not much you can do with aero damage around these kind of places.
Yeah, as the 62 of Van Alstyne is going to lead that lap. 77 goes right back to his outside, though, to cross him over. I actually like that move out of Filial because now he has the clean car behind him. 72 of Joshua Durham has a clean car, whereas the 71, as we've documented, of James Jacobs does not. So
yeah, they look like they're going to be really strong on the outside lane here.
Yeah, for sure. So
77 gets a big shove. He's going to be able to clear the 62 coming into turn 3.
Yeah, I do not expect him to go to the bottom, though. Maybe. Yeah, and there he goes. I don't know if I would have done that, but we'll see. No, he wants to go back to the top.
Goes back to the top.
And James Jacobs is thinking about going outside. He doesn't know where to go right now as he goes back to the bottom line here.
Yeah, I think for Jacobs, the best option for him would just be to stay on that inside lane and try to push Will here.
Yeah, anytime you're down on top end speed, you want to take the shortest route around the track, So obviously, you don't have to worry about getting your RPMs up quite as much. So with that nose damage, I think that's the best play for him, like you said.
Yeah, definitely.
James Jacobs is peaking 3 wide, but backs out of it smartly. The 77's edging out the 62 here in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, I definitely don't like that move. Pushing it underneath the 62 there. I think best thing for him would just be to stick in line there and try to stay with the draft of these guys.
As another lap car is coming up here on the inside line, 37.
Yeah, he's going to drop to the apron there. Good for him.
Yeah, but another lap car coming up as well here in the next lap or so of, I think it might have been James Lindo. As we're down to just 11 cars in the lead lap here now. Just a few laps away from this race being official.
Yeah, and it looks like if everything goes smoothly, they're going to be able to race it out here. Looks like it's most likely going to be Josh Filial and Josh Durham on the outside there versus William Van Alstyne and James Jacobs on the inside. And they are neck and neck.
He's really trying to run that 77 up the track there. He's going to have to be careful. They've been kind of going back and forth on the radio here a little bit, so we'll see if they have a rivalry brewing or what. Sure does sound like it.
77 gonna get a great push. He's gonna be clear of him. And the 72.
Yeah, and Van Alstyne running the 77 up the track there was not a smart move because that actually allowed him to be side drafted a lot easier there.
Yeah, but the 62 coming back on the inside. The 77 is going to try and block. He can't. They're side by side.
Here comes a lap car as well at the line. 62 leads that lap.
Yep.
6 laps to go here.
That's Joe Petrick staying on the outside lane, making sure to stay out of these guys' way. 6 laps to go.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear this 62 of Van Alstyne is trying to bully this 77 a little bit up there in that high line. You can see he's trying to run him up the track a little bit on the straightaways and just trying to get in his head a little bit, I think.
Yeah, and unfortunately you don't want to do that because you could piss a guy off and end up ruining your chances.
Side drafting works both ways there, JW, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I definitely think him being the leader, though, he's got to take advantage of being the leader on the inside lane and just try to hook that bottom. And it looks like James Jacobs is able to give him a good enough push there on the inside lane.
Yeah, the question is what is Jacobs going to do here once he has a chance to maybe make a move? Right now he's kind of boxed in, obviously, because he can't pass the yellow line. If he's able to clear that 77 and he tries to make a move, you never know what's going to happen. If you lose your help, you're going to fall back quickly.
James Jacobs not quite locked onto the 62's bumper. Looks like they're going to fall back a little bit compared to the 77 and 72. But Joshy was working hard on that outside lane to get around him.
And that 77 really wants to clear that 62 with the 72. He's trying to bring the 72 with him so they both can clear and go to the bottom line.
77 going to lead that lap. Lap car smartly stays on the apron.
Tim Bills looking like he's 6 laps down, 5 laps down right now in P14. He's powering on through. He's going to come home and in that spot there. Not going to be able to lose any more positions, so good job at him.
Yeah, definitely want to finish out the race if your car can handle it. That way you can get all the season points that you could possibly get.
Absolutely. Once again, side by side here out of turn 4, heading in the trial at the start-finish line. 77's going to have him at the line here. We're looking at just 3 laps to go. Well, it may not be the biggest pack we've ever seen here at JW, but it's been some pretty good side-by-side racing here for the top spot these last, I don't know, 20 laps or so.
Yeah, they've been doing a real good job. Even though we only got 4 cars left in the lead pack, the guys on the outside are still able to battle, and looks like James Jacobs is going to slide up to the outside lane, leave Will out to dry on the inside as we're 2 laps to go.
Yeah, that's an interesting move. I'd be curious to hear his thought process on that, but he's making it work nevertheless.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of these guys have differing strategies just depending on, how few cars there are left. That 77 gonna stay on that outside. 62 still staying on the inside. We got a couple cars in front. It's gonna be interesting. Looks like they're too wide in front of them.
And even without any help, that 62 is able to make that inside line work a little bit, as they have quite a few lap cars coming up, actually. That 77 is going to be leading as here we are in the final lap of the race. White flag is out. Lap car's
going to stay high. Going to just barely squeeze by him. Will's still fighting on the inside there.
Yeah, 71 still trying to figure out who's going to go with, decides to go to the outside line. They're 2x2 in front of him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like that move. He's gonna get hung out to dry on the outside. Joshua Filia is gonna... Oh boy, they're too wide in front. Oh.
Yeah, and the
Oh,
62 get blocked
Will.
off by Sam Niederhelm in the 18
Will
car.
sent it in there, and James Jacobs
Yeah, and
sending it on the
here comes
inside of
Joshua Durham on
him.
the inside line. He's got a huge run here. They're going to be side by side at the line. And Josh Durham got him at the
Josh
line.
Durham
Wow.
just barely wins it
Josh
here.
Durham. Wow, that was a pretty good but hectic finish. Wow, I don't think
Yeah, those
I
lap
don't think that's
cars
how the
really
18
played an interesting role in the finish of that one.
Yeah, I
Wow.
don't know if they knew or what. I mean, it was pretty clear they were both trying to get out of the way, but they didn't want to make contact with one another. It was unfortunate, but man, Josh Durham, great move there, recognized the opportunity and pushed to 77 there forever, and still was able to make that move. Unfortunately for the 67 of William Van Alstyne, he got blocked off by those lap cars and can't be too pleased about that.
Yeah, as we're looking at the last lap here, as they were coming up on those lap cars into turn one.
Yeah, so your top five, Joshua Durham in the 72 comes home with the first checker flag of the season. Joshua Filial comes home second, 77 car. James Jacobs, that battered front end, still finishes P3. William Van Alstyne, not going to be happy with that P4, but still comes home with a good top five. And then Jonathan Thomas, 14 seconds back, but he still finishes there in P5. Good run at him.
Yeah, definitely. I think these guys definitely learned quite a few things and learned how to race with each other, and it looked really good for the most part. Everybody was really courteous of each other, and we were able to get a good race to the end there. Unfortunately, with these super speedways and being on iRacing, it's hard for these guys when they're not professionals to really do as well as the guys who are professionals. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. So why don't we go ahead and I'm going to pull in Joshua Durham here and get a quick interview with him.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Yeah, so let's move him too. Josh Durham is Sean Hughes and JW Miller here in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
All right, man. You rode behind that 77 car for just lap after lap after lap there in that 4-car breakaway. Tell us about that last lap.
Yeah, man, it was wild. Lap traffic helped us out there. Figured I'd get the 77 up there, hoping I was going to clear the 62. The lap traffic helped me out with that, and figured the crossover was going to happen, so that's why I jumped up just a bit, came back down inside, and got around.
Yeah, was that a move you were trying to size him up on for those last 20 laps or so? I mean, it seems like you were up there forever, just pushing him and pushing him. Was he talking to you, or were you guys trying to get something lined up, or what was going on?
No, we weren't really talking. That was my plan, though. When I was actually pushing, I could get myself way in front of 62. So I figured if I did that, I'd hope I could carry a run around him out of 4. And yeah, I was hoping that would work out.
Well, it was quite the move. I mean, you had a relatively quiet race aside from that finish there. You know, tell us a little bit about your race as a whole. You know, did you pick up any stage points, or what was going on there?
No, I rode in the back until probably right after stage 2. Just trying to keep the car clean, and that way we'd have it at the end there.
Yeah, that's always
man.
always a good strategy, man. And congrats on the win there. Getting yourself some really good points here at the beginning of the season.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, good job, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
All right, looks like P2 is going to be the 77 of Joshua Filial. You want to pull this? I'll pull this guy in here for you, JW, if we can.
Looks like we don't have him in the Discord.
Yeah, so let's get Mr. James Jacobs. I'll pull him in. You go ahead and talk to him.
Alrighty. Mr. Jacobs, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on your P3. How was your race, man?
I thought it was going pretty good, except for the couple wrecks that I managed to avoid. But other than that,
yeah, it looks like you had a little bit of nose damage there, and we're still able to keep on that inside lane, keep pushing, and stay in that front pack to be able to give yourself a really good finish here.
yeah.
You want to tell us anything interesting happened in the race, or shout out your stream?
No, not really. I'm still shaking from that. Almost coming pretty close, but a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's pretty interesting. How are you feeling that the package was and everything with the 2 and 3 wide racing that was going on?
I thought it felt pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely looked good, and unfortunately, other than some netcode accidents and some blinking that happened, we were able to keep it green and keep racing really well. So I definitely enjoyed that. Anyways, thanks for giving us an interview, James, and hope you have a good night, man.
No problem, man. I want to shout out to all my followers here on my stream. I appreciate them guys, and everything, and putting up with me not being a chatterbait and all.
Well, we hope you had a good night, and shout out to your stream, man.
Thank you. I meant chatterbox, not chatter.
Yeah, congrats on your run there, James. We'll talk to you later, bud.
Okay, thank you.
All right, the ever so interesting James Jacobs
Absolutely.
blessed us with the interview there. Let's go ahead and pull in Mr. Ill Will there.
Yeah, I'll let you handle him.
Ill Will, we just pulled you into the booth. It's me and JW Miller here. You got a copy?
Yeah, buddy. Hey, JW.
Hey, how's it going, man?
All right, man. So you had a really good run there. Come home P4. Obviously, you got kind of discombobulated there in that last lap of those lap cars. Tell us a little bit about your race.
It was eventful. I stayed at the back with my teammates for a little bit. Shout out Track One Motorsports until the last. And then at the last minute got going with that 30 laps ago. I knew I was going to get up there because I'm good at restricted plate racing, especially the side draft. It wasn't too eventful for me besides the last wreck that almost caught everybody, but I was able to stop on the track.
Yeah, it definitely looked like you guys in that. Sorry, what was the name of your team again?
Track One
Motorsports. Looked like you guys were doing a really good job of kind of staying behind the pack and just drafting with each other, keeping caught up, but definitely keeping out of a lot of the wrecks that happen. And sometimes that's the best strategy, is just to try and stay in it. And unfortunately, none of your other teammates were able to finish up there with you, but you did a good job of keeping up there, and you made that last couple 10 laps there really, really good.
Yeah, I was trying to, I know I didn't have no help, so I was trying to keep the dude high. He kind of complained a little bit, but I didn't complain about him, pinching me up, sending me up the track. So I said, let me side draft him and try to stay with him as much as I can. And then that last lap there, my teammate was racing the 60 car, and there was nowhere for me to go. I tried to, send it, but it didn't work.
Yeah, well, it seemed like both the inside lane and the outside lane were so equal that guys were just trying to side draft so aggressively to slow each other down that maybe you got into each other, and that's unfortunate. But when you're racing that hard, that'll happen. But you guys were able to do a great job of just everybody holding it together and just giving us a great show here in the booth. So we appreciate you coming in here. Sean, you want to ask him anything else?
Nah, man, just congratulations on your run. And you're going to be running for points in the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series?
I'll be running for points in the Cup. See me up front.
All right, we'll be looking for you, man. All right, congrats again on your run there.
Yeah, I'll take that P4. Thanks, man. Appreciate
Have a
it.
good night, Will.
You too.
All right, man. Well, I think we're going to finish up our interviews here with the P5 finisher here of Jonathan Thomas, old JT. Let me drag him in here and I'll chat to this old guy here. Jonathan Thomas, we got you in the booth here, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. It was fun watching you to race a little bit there. I know it probably wasn't the most ideal P5 finish, as you were 14 seconds off of the leader, but it's a P5 nevertheless. Tell us a little bit about your race.
Yeah, but look where I started. I started back in 33rd to finish 5th. I'll take it.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about how the thing was drafting.
really my strategy was to stay at the back most of the time and just kind of make my way through the first two segments. And I lost track actually because I only took one set of tires, one set of our tires that were allotted, and pretty much double and triple stinted all the way down to the end. So us drafting strategy was just to stay around with a few of my friends that I know that I've been drafting with at super speedways a lot. And unfortunately, I got into accidents, and I was the last one left. And so at that point, I was hoping that that group that I was in was going to catch the group when they were side by side, but they weren't. So at that point, I was like, look, I got to make something out of this. So I just moved up 3 spots and took fifth.
Yeah, tell us about how you're able to race to the front of that second pack there.
Thanks to Jamie Walker, believe it or not. A few times in those last few laps, he kept bumping the back of me, and I guess he was trying to tell me, let's go. And so finally, when I looked down and saw we only had 3 to go, I was like, look, we're not going anywhere else, so it's time at least to get some points out of it. Or get some positions. I'm not running points for the Xfinity, but he gave me a good bump, and thanks to him, I got out in front of Thomas and well, it was John at the time, but I was able to stay in front and get fifth spot, and I got to thank them.
Yeah, definitely. Congrats on that P5, man. Definitely trying to get as many points as you can early in the season is a good plan, and we hope to see you for the rest of the season.
Definitely see you guys tomorrow night.
Have a good night.
All right, JW, that's going to come to a conclusion here for our opening race here of the Xfinity Series. Any last comments, questions, concerns you got?
No, I think we're just about finished up here. Once again, thank you to everybody who tuned into the stream. Thanks to everybody racing. Thanks to you, Sean, for sitting in the booth and dealing with me for that whole 100 laps there.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, it was a fun time, and definitely wasn't the most eventful racing through the final little stage there, but ended up being an interesting finish as well. So all in all, pretty good race here. Sucks that so many guys didn't get to finish the race, but hopefully we'll see a great turnout here next week at Atlanta, and we'll see more guys battling for the lead more than ever. So until then, Sean Hughes for JW Miller. Catch you guys next time.
Have a good night, everybody.